What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. If you want to stay daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video, because whenever there's Ravens news and such, I try and bring a video as fast as possible. And today's news, it's not directly related to the Ravens. However, I really think that it should be. That is that Josh Gordon, I will read the exact tweet from Adam Schefter just to make sure I get it right. NFL and Forbes suspended former All-Pro wide receiver Josh Gordon, that it is reinstating him, sources tell ESPN. Gordon is expected to be eligible to play as early as week 4. And I want to talk about the Ravens potentially bringing in Josh Gordon. And in the comment section down below, I do want to hear what you guys think. If you guys think, no, our receiving core is great, we do not need him, that's an absolutely okay opinion. I want to hear that. But in my opinion, I think that bringing in Josh Gordon could be really good for this team. And it would be a bit ironic because it would really be the veteran dream team if we brought in Josh Gordon, Le'Veon Bell, Latavius Murray, Devontae Freeman, Justin Houston. I mean, if this was 5-6 years ago, I mean, that roster right there would be over the cap. But let's talk about it. Josh Gordon is a 6'3" wide receiver that has great speed and ball skills. And that's something that I still feel like the Ravens are missing a little bit. Is that guy that can go up and make that reception. There's only one player on the roster that the Ravens have ever really tried to use with that. At least this year, trying to go up and make a reception. It's been like Duvernay. They've tried to do it with Watkins, Lamar, and him. Didn't have great timing in the Chiefs game. Lamar overthrew him a little bit, or he was maybe throwing it away, threw it a little bit out of bounds on about a 25-yard pass. But Josh Gordon, if he came, one of the biggest things that the Ravens could look at is whether or not they want to keep Miles Boykin. And Josh Gordon has proven in the NFL, and I'm not talking about just when this was, 2013 and he was, leading the league in receiving yards. No, I'm talking about like in 2017 and 2018, he was still making very good receptions, high pointing the ball, receiving it, coming down with it. And that's something that the Ravens could still be in need of. And that's something that they're still missing. Now, I love Hollywood. Still think I'm not saying Josh Gordon would be wide receiver 1. I'm not saying he would be a top 3 wide receiver on this team. He may not even be a top 4 wide receiver on this team. However, he could be like wide receiver 5. And then the Ravens could keep Miles Boykin on the IR for the rest of the year. And then Tylan Wallace could be wide receiver 6. And they could really use that because at his speed and just his experience, he would be able to pose another threat when he comes out on the field. Because unfortunately, when Devin Duvernay comes out on the field, unfortunately, I really believe in Devin Duvernay. Do not take this as like Devin Duvernay slander, but I don't think that the defenses are worried. They see Devin Duvernay come in and they're like, okay, might be a bit of a gadget play. That's really about it. Maybe he'll go deep, but the Ravens have never really connected with Devin Duvernay on a deep ball, so not overly worried about that. If Josh Gordon comes in, there's a bit of concern of, oh, this guy's in. I mean, if you watched him when he was on the Patriots back in 2018, 2019, I mean, Brady would just throw it up for him. And he made some good receptions with Brady. Just a couple of years ago, he made some good receptions, and he would high point the ball in the end zone, come down with it with 2 defenders. I mean, that's something that we don't have because Lamar Jackson throwing it up into double coverage to Hollywood has about a 0% chance of working out. I mean, that's just because Hollywood is way too small. He doesn't have that. That's not his game. But Josh Gordon, if he's in double coverage, he can actually come down with it. I'm not saying it's a great strategy to just throw it up to Josh Gordon in double coverage, but it's like, if it's 3rd and 15 and Lamar's under pressure and he needs to throw it up to somebody, they don't put Tylan Wallace on the field. They've put James Prochet on the field a couple of times this year, yet to get a reception. Maybe they throw it up for Josh Gordon. And I think that he could just be a valuable asset to this team and really be a player that they look at in specific situations because at his size, that'll help him in the blocking because the Ravens don't like to keep Hollywood out there. But then he also has terrific speed to be able to burn people over the top. And just kind of the final thing that we have to look at is I think his play. I mean, I'm a huge Josh Gordon fan. I really believe in him. The issue is his off the field activities. If you're unfamiliar with Josh Gordon's off the field activities, there's about 20 transactions and suspensions that have happened in his career. 2013 violated league's policy, suspended 2 games. Then 2014-2015 suspended substance abuse policy. Then violated team rules of Cleveland in 2014. Violated league substance policy in 2015. I mean, it just goes on and on. Got reinstated, got signed to a contract by the Browns again. Then he got placed on IR / did not report. And then he got traded to New England. And then he got suspended indefinitely for violating league substance abuse policy. And then he went over to the Seahawks and he violated PEDs and substance abuse. And then in 2021, he violated the terms of his conditional reinstatement. And then he was cut by the Seahawks. So that is the problem with Josh Gordon. It's not the play. It's about him getting on the field and violating the policies. But in my personal opinion, I feel like that is worth it in the sense that it wouldn't cost money. It would be a minimum contract to bring Josh Gordon in. And if he violates a policy, he can be gone. I mean, he can. The Ravens would easily be able to cut him. There would be no worries. This isn't like bringing in Antonio Brown because the concerns about Antonio Brown wasn't just Antonio Brown kind of doing some crazy things. It was like he could ruin the locker room and really split it apart like he had done in other teams that he had been with. Josh Gordon isn't going to ruin your locker room. The Ravens have a very good culture and one of the best cultures that would have a chance of being able to help him in terms of staying under control and things like that when it comes to the substance abuse. But if he breaks it, the Ravens are a no-nonsense organization, and they would just cut him. And that's okay. But bringing him in to see, I mean, I think they should at least bring him in for a workout just to talk with him and see, like, how is he doing? Because there have been plenty of players that have come back from substance abuse problems and played very well in the NFL. The most notorious is Darren Waller. I mean, Darren Waller really struggled when he was with the Ravens. Got to the Raiders and really turned it around for himself. And great job to Darren Waller. I mean, you have to give him his props. And the Ravens, hopefully they would maybe see Josh Gordon as a potential player that could really help them out in terms of just being a bigger body for run blocking, in terms of still being a very good deep threat and high point, jump ball wide receiver. And also just having wide receiver depth because Boykin's hurt and Bateman's still out. Get him, try and bring him in, see if he can do a workout. If he's able to, go in week 5, week 6, and he may not play a ton, but like, hey, the Dez Bryant situation, I would say worked out in the sense that he made some meaningful plays for the Ravens. Now he was a little bit upset that the Ravens didn't use him properly, but the Ravens got rid of him. And I think that Josh Gordon could be a guy that the Ravens bring in and could actually be successful. But if they bring him in and it doesn't work out, they can cut him very quickly. And so I'm not really worried about that side of things. I don't think he's going to come in and ruin the Ravens locker room or anything like that. He's not a problematic personality. It's just his substance abuse is the main issue. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. Let me know what you guys think. Should the Ravens bring in Josh Gordon, at least for a workout? Talk to him. I don't know. I think they should. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. And I'll see all of you again tomorrow.